Hey guys, what's up? I just want to give you a quick update on my arm surgery that I had August 5th to loosen up the arm graft from RF that I had 7 years ago. So, just in case you've been following along, it was pretty fresh. The last video I hadn't seen my arm yet, and I had my first post-op appointment on the 12th. So August 12th, that was Monday of this week. It's actually almost a week later. So I'll put the photos up of my arm here and kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on currently. So first of all, you might notice, wow, it looks crazy. So very well aware, looks a bit like chicken skin and definitely weirded me out a bit. Dr. Lin did warn me ahead of time, being like, you're gonna see some indentations. Those will heal up and smooth out later on. So I'm just trying to take his word for it. It's pretty gnarly looking, and it's definitely something that took my mind a little bit of time to grasp. In the moment, I didn't really think anything of it. I've seen my arm gnarly many times before, but this one's a little different because I realized I'm kind of gonna have to go through that process again of feeling a little self-conscious about my arm like I did in the beginning. And eventually I reached a point where I no longer really cared. I didn't cover my arm anymore. I covered my arm probably for a good, I would say at least maybe 6 months, maybe longer, especially in public. When I went out anywhere, I'd wear a little sleeve because I was tired of people asking about my arm. And it's a lot more obvious, when it's fresh post-op. But the first year, it's pretty red. The color is a little different. It takes a while for the scar to fade. So I have I'm gonna have a multicolored scar for a bit. I don't know how long the indentations are going to last. So it's just a matter of time, and I'm hoping, it's gonna even out, but there will be, a little bit of a mental, emotional acceptance period of, it's just something that's gonna be fresh for a while, and I'm gonna have to learn to accept that. Will I cover it again? Probably for a bit, because I don't want to be at the gym and have people asking about my arm. It's always just a weird question. I guess to a certain extent, just people are curious. Leave it at that. It's nothing that's malicious. I know this. But sometimes, curiosity can sometimes also just feel invasive. So when someone asks me what's happened to my arm, I've come up with a number of things. Number one would probably be a burn, because I used to work in kitchens. I used to be a cook. And it's more likely, or just seems like it would be, a more likely case that I got burnt. You could say shark attack. I also, joked around that I was gonna say I used to work with tigers and asked people if they've ever seen the documentary Tiger King, because that one person got their arm almost chomped off by a tiger. So that was a little bit of a humorous idea that I didn't really play out, but I thought about it. Anyways, I've only used shark attack one time, and I'm gonna tell you a little funny story. This is a ramble. Welcome back to my ramble. So one time I went for surgery at CPMC Sutter, which is where all the Northern California phalloplasty surgeries take place, at least within the Dr. Chen situation there. And I went in for, I think it was my testicular implant. It's another revision on my arm. And when I was registering, the lady asked me what I'd done to my arm. And I was just like, are you for real? This is where all these phalloplasties have taken place. You'd think that the staff would kind of know by now. Well, one, it's a medical setting. Don't ask about people's scars. It's kind of personal. It could be traumatic. But two, have you not seen this come through your registration office multiple times? Anyways, so I was kind of surprised and annoyed simultaneously, and it was early morning. I hadn't had coffee, hadn't had breakfast, and I just blurted out, shark attack. And I was kind of being sarcastic. But she believed me, and then she was like, we have a lot of those around here. So that made me laugh, because it just shows that there's a lot of trans men that have come through that registration office with arm scars like mine, who she probably also asked about, and they also said shark attack. So it's a pretty common one to use amongst trans men with phalloplasty, because it's not completely, unbelievable. It probably just stops people from asking at that point. Versus I had an accident, and then they want the story or whatever. So anyways, now that we're past that tangent, my arm's gonna look gnarly for a while. I'm just trying to mentally accept it. I did have a little rough time the few days following. I get to unwrap my arm on my own literally today, shower completely for the first time. I've just been doing like showers with my arm out, trying to clean your armpit with the same arm is a challenge. You should try it sometime for fun. But we managed. I didn't smell too bad. I wasn't the stinky kid, but not that it matters that much because I've not been around many people besides my girlfriend, and I get the feeling she probably wouldn't tell me if I smelled anyways, but for future reference, I hope she does. I don't want to be the smelly kid. But so I will unwrap the arm today again, be able to shower off, get another new glimpse of what it looks like, kind of hoping, you know, it looks at least a little bit better, or it looks more promising that the indentations are going to smooth over, that sort of thing. So I will update you more. After that, I have another post-op appointment tomorrow. So my instructions were, you know, keep it dry, don't get it wet yet, you know, take a shower the day before my appointment. I have at 9 a.m. tomorrow, which is probably when this video is being released, and I will give you another update on all of that, just in case you are following along and want to know, or maybe you're interested in this surgery for yourself. I know there's a lot of trans guys out there who struggle with graft tightness, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this surgery is going to help at least a little bit. And he did a lot to it, more than I thought. I think maybe more than he thought he was gonna do. So it was a little more extensive. Will that slow down healing? I'm not sure. He said I could probably start to lift light around 3 weeks, and I'm about to be at the 2-week mark, so we're almost there. It has definitely been a struggle not being able to hit my workouts, feeling like all the progress I made over the years, just like kind of feeling like I'm watching it disappear, which I know is not actually completely true. You don't lose muscle that quickly. You start to lose muscle around the 2-week mark, and that's where I'm at right now. So I'm a little bit more heightened to the ways my body is changing and that sort of thing. But I've done this before, and I'm trying to take advantage and really trying to slow down. And that's something I've really struggled with for the past like 4 years. I mean, let's be honest, my whole life. But the last 4 years especially, even with COVID, there's just something, it's almost like I shifted gears and never came out of it. I shifted up, and I've just been going 100 miles an hour since 2020. My anxiety included. I'm sure a lot of you might have experienced the same thing post-COVID. So this year has turned out completely different than I expected. I will inform you more of what that really means. But right now, essentially, I had planned to keep shifting upwards, go 120 miles an hour. But the universe said this year is your year to slow down. So I'm slowing the fuck down. It's not necessarily by choice, but it's making me realize it's something that I really need to do. So I'm trying to take advantage of the extra downtime, really just allow myself to slow down. And I feel my anxiety starting to kick up and tell me like, hey, you need to go faster. You need to have that sense of urgency and like get all your shit done. But the sense of urgency right now isn't real. So I'm trying to like remind myself of that. And it's been uncomfortable. It's been hard, but it's been good. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that as time goes on. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to update personally. But for now, I'm just kind of trying to keep it to my arm. Another thing that Dr. Lin mentioned was that he might have to do this surgery again at some point. So if my forearm keeps growing, then I might run into the same problems where they'd have to do it again. Or if this just doesn't work, the next option would be just like a complete, total regraft, which looking at my arm, I'm like, damn, you're pretty close to that regraft already. Maybe we should have just started over. And then like if we would have started over, it wouldn't look so weird because it would be at least uniform. But anyways, so that's where I'm at. Trying to keep activity low, hoping to be able to hit the gym, lifting light with this hand, 3 weeks post-op. I might see if I can do some lower body stuff. I'm gonna ask him at my appointment if I can do some lower body stuff this week currently, along with doing other stuff with my other arm, because This arm was a little bit smaller than this one due to the blood flow restriction. So it's weird how that works, but this arm always got a bigger pump than this arm. So it got bigger. It actually got stronger. So weird to think about that. So if I can work my other side, give it a little chance to catch up to this side. So that's about all. Small update. I will keep you posted after my next appointment. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. Peace out. I'll see you next time.